The arena was already shaking. Fans were on their feet, screaming, chanting, and living every second of Monday Night Raw as if it was WrestleMania itself. Becky Lynch, the self-proclaimed big-time Bex, stood tall in the center of the ring. She had just cut one of her signature promos, filled with arrogance, confidence, and that untouchable swagger she had carried for years. Becky's voice echoed, "There's nobody left. Nobody who can stand toe-to-toe with me. I've beaten them all, Charlotte, Asuka, Bayley. I've run through every challenger. So unless some miracle happens, you are looking at the greatest of all time." The crowd erupted in mixed reactions. Cheers from her fans, but loud boos from those who were tired of Becky's dominance. She smirked, soaking it all in, lifting her Raw Women's Championship high above her head. And then, the lights cut out. The screens went black. A deafening silence swept over the arena. For 5 full seconds, nobody moved. The WWE Universe collectively held their breath, waiting, anticipating, praying this wasn't just a technical glitch. And then it hit. The unmistakable sound of "Bad Reputation" by Joan Jett blasted through the speakers. The crowd exploded. The camera shook from the raw noise. Thousands of fans jumped out of their seats, screaming in shock, disbelief, and absolute chaos, because it wasn't possible. It shouldn't have been possible. But it was real. Ronda Rousey was back. The woman who had been gone for over a year, the fighter who had walked away after suffering heartbreaking defeats and personal battles. The former UFC champion, former Raw Women's champion, and one of the most dominant figures in women's wrestling history. She was here, right now. The Titantron flashed her name in bold white letters, Ronda Rousey. And in that instant, Becky Lynch's cocky smirk disappeared. Her jaw literally dropped. For the first time in years, Becky looked nervous. The baddest woman on the planet walked out, her signature black leather jacket draped over her shoulders, her eyes cold and locked on Becky like a predator stalking its prey. She didn't smile. She didn't wave. She didn't even acknowledge the fans. This wasn't the Ronda Rousey who came to WWE to prove herself years ago. This was a different Ronda, sharper, meaner, hungrier, and the look on her face told the entire story. She wasn't back for fun. She wasn't back for fame. She was back to destroy Becky Lynch. The arena thundered with chants. "Ronda's back! Ronda's back!" Becky's eyes darted across the ring. Her championship clutched against her chest as if it might protect her from the storm marching down the ramp. She mouthed the words, "No way." But it was happening. The shocking comeback the WWE Universe never expected had just turned Becky Lynch's world upside down. The crowd was still screaming, chanting Ronda's name at the top of their lungs. Fans were on their feet, cell phones raised high, desperate to capture this once-in-a-lifetime moment. For years, they had debated if Ronda Rousey would ever step back into a WWE ring. Rumors had swirled, headlines had teased, but nothing concrete had ever happened. Until now, Becky Lynch stood frozen. Her championship gripped so tightly against her chest that her knuckles turned white. She had called herself the Man. She had bragged about conquering everyone, but right now, in this moment, her aura of invincibility cracked. The camera zoomed in close, catching her wide eyes and trembling lips. Ronda Rousey marched to the ring with purpose. Each step down the ramp echoed like a drumbeat of war. Her boots hit the steel steps, and the moment her hands gripped the ropes, the fans roared even louder. She stepped through the ropes, face to face, eye to eye. History repeating itself, but this time the energy was different. Becky lifted her chin, trying to mask the flicker of fear in her eyes. She smirked, but the smirk looked forced. She raised the microphone slowly and muttered, "Well, well, well. Look who finally decided to show up. What is this, Ronda? You couldn't stay away from me? You couldn't live with the fact that I ended you at WrestleMania?" The crowd booed, jeered, and some even cheered. Becky's words cut deep, referencing the night at WrestleMania 35 when she pinned Ronda in the main event to become champion. Ronda didn't flinch. She didn't blink. She simply stood, her piercing eyes locked on Becky, the tension so thick the arena felt like it might explode. The fans began chanting, "Fight, fight, fight!" Becky chuckled into the mic, regaining a bit of her swagger. "What's the matter, Ronda? Cat got your tongue? Or are you realizing that this isn't the UFC? This is my world. This is WWE. And in my world, I'm the queen." For a split second, silence. And then, with the speed of a rattlesnake, Ronda snatched the microphone out of Becky's hand. The crowd gasped. Her voice was sharp, cold, and filled with venom. "You're not the queen of anything, Becky. You're not the man. You're a fraud. You've been running your mouth, hiding behind that title, pretending you're untouchable. But you know the truth. And deep down, you're terrified. Because I'm back." The crowd went insane. Goosebumps filled the arena. Becky stepped back, her chest heaving, her eyes narrowing. She shook her head furiously. "No, no, no, no. You don't get to walk back in here after disappearing for over a year and act like you run the place. I carried this division on my back while you were gone. I bled for this. I sacrificed everything. And you think you can just walk back and take what I built? Not a chance." Ronda leaned in, her voice lower, almost whispering into Becky's face. "I'm not here to take what you built. I'm here to tear it down." The words hit like a nuclear bomb. The crowd erupted in a thunderous, "Holy S-T" chant. Becky's face flushed with anger. She shoved Ronda back, her Irish fire exploding as the championship glistened under the arena lights. "You think you can scare me? You think I'm speechless because I'm afraid? No, Ronda, I'm speechless because I can't believe you're stupid enough to come back. Do you even remember how it ended last time? I beat you. I pinned you. I took your title and your pride." Ronda smirked for the first time. Slowly, almost mockingly, she stepped forward until their foreheads nearly touched. The tension was unbearable. Security guards and referees rushed down the ramp, sliding into the ring, forming a wall between the two women. The crowd was losing its mind. Some fans screamed for Becky. Others begged for Ronda to throw the first punch. But Ronda didn't swing. She didn't attack. Instead, she leaned over the pile of referees and whispered, loud enough for the cameras to pick up, "This isn't about last time. This is about ending you. For good." The crowd gasped again. Becky's jaw clenched and her hand tightened around her championship belt like it was her lifeline. The referees begged them to calm down, holding both women back as chants of, "Let them fight," filled the arena. Becky tried to lunge forward, screaming, "Come on then, do it right now, I dare you!" But Ronda simply backed up to the ropes, her eyes never leaving Becky's. She smirked, pointed directly at the Raw Women's Championship, and mouthed the words, "That's mine." And with that, she dropped the microphone, rolled out of the ring, and walked up the ramp. The fans were going insane. Becky was left shaking with rage, screaming from the ring, "This is my show, Ronda, my show, you'll never take it from me." But deep down, she knew the truth. For the first time in years, Becky Lynch had been rattled, and the WWE Universe knew one thing. This war had just begun. The WWE Universe was buzzing like never before. Social media exploded the very second Ronda Rousey stepped back into the spotlight. Clips of Becky Lynch's stunned reaction went viral instantly. Memes, tweets, and fan theories filled every corner of the internet. Everyone was asking the same question. Why was Ronda Rousey back? And what did it mean for Becky Lynch? The following week on Raw, anticipation filled the air. Every seat in the arena was sold out and fans carried homemade signs. "Welcome back, Ronda. Becky versus Ronda 2, match main event. The man versus the baddest woman." The show opened with Becky Lynch storming to the ring, no patience for theatrics. She slammed the microphone to her lips and barked into the camera. "Ronda Rousey, enough of the games. You want to make me look weak? You want to embarrass me in my ring? Fine. But you don't get to hide behind silence and stares. You want to come back? Then face me. Face me right here, right now. The crowd screamed. The challenge had been laid out. Moments later, bad reputation hit again and the arena nearly blew its roof off. Ronda walked down the ramp, slower this time, her eyes still locked on Becky. But there was something different. She didn't come alone. Behind her, walking step for step, was Shayna Baszler, her longtime friend, her MMA stablemate, her ally from the days of the Four Horsewomen. The crowd gasped. Becky's face fell. 2 predators, 1 ring, and Becky Lynch in the middle. Ronda climbed into the ring, microphone in hand. Shayna stood just behind her, arms crossed, her stare just as deadly. "You don't get it, Becky," Ronda said, her voice low and steady. "This isn't about you being the champion. This isn't about me chasing gold. This is about payback. You humiliated me at WrestleMania. You made your name off of me. But the truth is, your entire reign, your entire career, your entire ego exists because I let it. I stepped away. I gave you room to breathe. And now I'm taking it all back." The crowd erupted in boos, some cheering wildly, torn between 2 legends. Becky clenched her jaw, raising the belt high. "You think you can scare me with your little friend here? You think Shayna standing behind you is going to rattle me? I've beaten everyone, Ronda, everyone, and I'll beat you again, anytime, anywhere." Ronda smirked. She leaned closer, her words sharp enough to cut glass. "No, Becky, you won't beat me again. Because this time, you won't even make it to the match." Suddenly, Shayna Baszler lunged forward, blindsiding Becky with a vicious knee to the gut. The crowd exploded in shock as Becky fell to the mat, gasping for air. Ronda and Shayna pounced, stomping, striking, dismantling the champion in brutal fashion. The boos rained down like thunder, but the damage was already being done. Security scrambled to the ring, referees tried to pull them apart, but Ronda and Shayna unleashed a merciless assault. Becky screamed in pain as Ronda locked in her signature armbar, wrenching her arm back with terrifying precision. The WWE Universe was in chaos. Children screamed, fans begged for mercy, and Becky writhed on the mat as her title belt rolled out of the ring. Finally, officials dragged Ronda and Shayna away. But before leaving, Ronda bent down, grabbed the microphone, and hissed into it. "You thought you were untouchable. You thought you were the man. But now, you're just broken. At the next pay-per-view, I'm taking everything from you. Your pride, your title, your legacy. And when I do, you'll never be speechless again. You'll be forgotten." She tossed the microphone onto Becky's chest and walked out with Shayna by her side. The camera zoomed in on Becky, her face twisted in pain, tears mixing with sweat, clutching her injured arm. The fans chanted desperately, "Becky! Becky! Becky!" But for the first time in years, Becky Lynch didn't look like the man. She looked vulnerable, human, shattered. The twist, the beginning of a war. In the weeks that followed, chaos reigned. Becky Lynch refused medical leave, cutting furious promos about how Ronda couldn't break her spirit. Ronda, with Shayna at her side, destroyed every opponent put in front of her, sending a chilling message that she wasn't just back, she was unstoppable. The WWE Universe realized they weren't just witnessing a rivalry. They were witnessing the rebirth of Ronda Rousey, more dangerous than ever. The hook had delivered, the confrontation had exploded, and now the fallout had set the stage for one of the most shocking emotional wars in WWE history. Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey 2, the endgame. Because this time, somebody wasn't walking out the same.